When we carry on with the dinim of trying to change a kli to a lower status, in the previous Mishnah we're trying to change a kli into something which is tar legamri because it's mechuber lekarka. And now we're going to downgrade a kli through in a different way. We're dealing with this sodin. A sodin is a sheet. Now a sheet is a beged, so of course under the normal rules of beged, the beged is a classic kli kibble and it's makabel tumah. But it's also roy lemishkav moshev and has the chumradika element that it's also able to be makabel tumas medris because it is roy lemishkav moshev, therefore it's also makabel tumas medris. So a sodin is now shutame medris. Either it means it actually is already tame medris, or that expression can also mean it's able to be makabel tumas medris. Vasoi viloin, you now change it into a regular curtain. Now, this Mishnah is examining the rule which we will find Mitzvah Shem at the end of Perik Chof Hei, Perik Mishnah Tes, a very fundamental rule in Kelim, which is Kala Kelim Yordin Adetu Mosan Machshava. You can bring every kli into the ambit of being Makabel Tumah just with Machshava alone. However, Ve'enam Oilin Midetu Mosan Ela B'Shunei Maaseh. Once a kli is Makabel Tumah, the only way you can sort of break it and disable the Kabbalah's Tumah and say it is now not able to be Makabel Tumah, it's not good enough just to have a Machshava. You must have what's called a Shinui Maaseh. You've actually got to change it to its new function. We now want to downgrade the sodin from being Tomei Medris to not being Tomei Medris by changing it into a curtain. Now, a curtain is no roy lemishkav moshev. People don't sit on curtains. It's still, however, a regular kli for tumas meis, because even though a curtain is hanging in a house, it's still called a beged. Why? The Mishnah says, the Gemara says that the waiter, the shamash, sometimes when he feels cold, wraps himself up round the curtain, takes the curtain and wraps it round his body, so therefore it's still a beged, it's still a kli. However, it's not roy lemishkav moshev. So this man has taken a sheet and is changing it to a viloin, to a curtain. It says the Mishnah, toyom en amedris. He's actually, because now it is no longer able to be used as a kli for Mishkav Moshev, it is no longer a sheet, so it cannot now be Makabel Tumah anymore by a Tumas Medris. Avol Tomei Tmei Meis. It can still pick up regular Tumas, i.e. Tomei Meis or a Sheret by Negia, or in the case of Meis Ba'oyel, it can still be Makabel Tumah that way. But we need, what the Mishnah hasn't, that's the basic rule. We need still to have the Shinui Maaseh, to make it, to downgrade it from Tumas Medris and say this is no longer able to be Makabel Tumas Medris. It needs a Shinui Maaseh. And we have a three-way machloikus, that the Shinui Maaseh needed to say that this sheet is no longer a sheet, it is now a curtain. Says the Mishnah, Me'emu Sahi Tarosai. We have three views in the Mishnah. There's many ways of learning this Mishnah. We'll take the simple way. And the three views are Bishamai, Basil, and Rebbe Kiva. Each one is, as we progress through the Mishnah, is being more lenient, i.e. they're making it easier to change the status of this sheet. Bishama Omer, they're the most machmir. They say Misha Yitover. You've got to actually tear the sheet so that you can actually, when you want to change the sheet into a curtain, you've actually got to tear it, break it into its new shape, so that now it's ready to be a curtain. That's called a Shinui Maaseh. Of course, you've actually torn the sheet, so it is now no longer able to be used as a sheet. It's now been meyuchad to be a curtain, and therefore that's the Maaseh which is needed to take away the Tumas Medris. You don't have to go that far. When you hang a curtain onto whatever you hang it on, you have little loops, little lulois. Mishi kosher, as soon as you tie those loops to the sheet, saying this is now a curtain, that's enough of a maaseh to change the sheet into a curtain. Kivoimer, Mishi kova. You don't need to change the beged at all. You don't have to tear it. You don't have to add loops. Just fixing it in the doorway. We're not dealing here with the dealing of mechubar lekarka. Even you fix it into the doorway without being mechaber lekarka, you hang it loosely on hooks. Sebis Rabbi Akiva, that's enough. You've shown that it is no longer roi lemishkev v'moishav, and therefore it loses Thomas Medris. By the way, Bar Tanura, when he talks about asoi vilon, he actually says mosach lepesach, a curtain for a doorway, a vilon is sfina, or a curtain being used as a mast on a boat. The Mefarshim ask on this because the reason why this vilon is still able to be makabel tumah, we just said before, is because the shamash, when he feels cold, wraps himself in it. So it's still got a shem beggar for that, and that is not done on a boat. The Chazon Ish asks the question, but we can manage the Mishnah without those words, vilon is finna, and that's Mishnah Vav. We're coming up to Mishnah Zayin Mitzvah Shem, the last Mishnah of the Perek, very interesting, fascinating Mishnah on a machzeles, on a mat. We'll do it soon.